So hey guys, it's Liam here from Primal Nomad. Hope you're doing well. I'm actually back here in the Galloway National Park with my good friend Josh. We're just about to head down to this loch, find a nice camping spot and just have a really nice few days up here in the wet Scotland that it is. It's already raining, what a good introduction, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Whew. Bit steep, isn't it, Josh? Very steep.
So yeah, we've just descended down that really steep bank behind us. It literally is vertical, loads of rocks, so I didn't film too much of going down there, if any at all. But like I said, we're heading down towards the loch at the moment. It's a really beautiful forest and it looks like it levels out down here, so we're gonna have a little explore. But let me show you a little bit of this view because it is breathtaking. So there you can just see the loch tucking away over there, that body of water, and we're surrounded by the mountains. It's just drizzling a little bit at the moment. It's very misty, but we'll catch up with you when we're a bit further down this steep hill. You can see how much of a decline it is, but it looks like it plateaus out around there. So we found this really nice clear spot here, massive and open by the loch. I'll show you the view very shortly, but I'm going to get the tarp up because the rain started to come back in again. But I'm so glad to be here, and what a spot, lovely. There's already a fire pit here as well, so that's perfect, shows that it must be good. So it's really nice to be back here in Scotland in the Galloway National Park. Myself and Josh actually came here 5 years ago. It was my second ever video on the channel. So if you haven't seen that, go back and have a little look. We hiked up a burn or a river, which you can actually probably just about hear over the rain. It's that direction from me now. So we followed that river all the way up into the hills, and there was a big area of woodland, a nice bothy, and unfortunately that area is getting felled at the moment to be replanted in more traditional timber and woodland habitat, etc. At the moment it's just kind of Sitka spruce and larch up there, all plantation, forestry commission. So unfortunately the place that we went in last time is all gated off, it's shut, you can see piles of logs everywhere, so it's just not worth us going up there, which was the original idea. We were going to do a return to the Galloway trip and try and camp at least for one night in the same spot. But we've had to change locations, and I tell you what, I'm really happy because it is beautiful. We're right by the loch, So as the weather starts to clear a little bit, which it is now, I'll take you down. We can have a little look at the views that surround us. And yeah, then maybe have a look at getting the fire on. It's going to be a little bit difficult because obviously it's so wet. So we'll see what we can do. We've got some fat wood in my bag. There's going to be some dead standing stuff and we'll just see what we can do. It's Scotland at the end of the day. I'll probably use some of these rocks for the fire pit somewhere in the middle and just yeah, see what we can do. But you can see the weather's starting to clear, so I might pop out in a second. Some really, really huge walls, these. Massive stones. Quite precarious, so I'm not going to climb on it. I was tempted. So that's where me and Josh are set up. You can probably just see Josh's tarp there and mine, but it's just tucked away in the holly. And all this birch going into this kind of marshland out towards the loch. Those pines you can see are the other side of the loch, and there's the loch itself. And like I said, it is so nice to be here. Even though it's wet, I mean, it's just gorgeous. The colours are immaculate. Look at those oranges and greens, all the moss around. It's just a bushcrafter's heaven, and we're going to have a little bit of fun trying to get the fire started. I've got MREs for most of my food. I do have some other stuff to cook, but it's of course nice to get a fire, a little bit of a morale boost, a little bit of warmth, somewhere to dry yourself by, and somewhere to cook our food. So let's get that going. I'm going to take a walk over towards the river because there's a nice bit of forest there. So you can see I pinned out the middle of the back of my tarp. I've done it to 3 locations, or 3 points all go into one centre point. It just gives me a load of room underneath, but I'm really impressed with this tarp. And again, it's by Bushmen. I don't know if you can see that there, but it's really lightweight. It comes in at about 600 grams, so for the size of it, it's perfect. We're just on our way down to the river. Some nice terrain around here. It's proper Scottish rainforest. You can hear it and it opens out. Look at that. That's beautiful. What a spot. So this is actually the river that me and Josh travelled down 5 years ago, or travelled up all the way up into the forest. And it is ripping at the moment. There's been a lot of rain and it's just so nice to be back here, to be honest. Really, really impressed with the journey. The weather's turned out nice for us actually, although it's wet. It's dried up for now, so we can't complain. And it's just nice to be here in Scotland. The sound of the river roaring away behind us. It's just a bit of nostalgia. And the scenery around here is glorious. Really, really, really nice. And in matter of fact, I'm probably coming back somewhere similar to here for my solo trip, which will be coming out soon this year. But regardless, on from that, I'll show you this water. It's beautiful. there's loads of these wild blueberries here. They're just prolific here. Just starting to come into leaf a bit. If you were here, it'd be hard competition between the deer, the sheep, the squirrels, all of the other animals that are out here. But it's great to see that they're still up here. They're a real native, boreal kind of Scandinavian plant. So not too far away really up in Scotland. We're in the boreal edges of the forest now. So yeah, lovely. This river, we're just following it down to the Loch to see where it goes. It's really nice to see everything along it, and all of these kind of stone walls are so all covered in moss.
Here they are indeed starting to get their berries. So they're the flower which will get pollinated hopefully and then turn into a berry. So beautiful and still here, guys. The water is crystal clear too. I'll bring you over to have a look. Probably hard for you to see, but it's crystal clear down there. I can see the bottom. It's a mirror finish over that lake. There's some nice woodland over on that side, and that's the kind of stuff that myself and Josh camped in last time. So it's a nice change to actually be somewhere where there's birch trees, some oaks, and just with that backdrop in the background. Magnificent. I've been really enjoying using this knife made by Josh from Feared Woods. It's lovely that it's stainless steel, so in wet environments like this you can't beat having something like that. You don't have to worry about it rusting. And of course Luke from York Knife put my logo on there. Really, really beautiful bit of kit, and yeah, very, very happy with it. So we've gone with the fire pit like this, just some rocks around it and a nice flat one to start the fire on and keep it off the ground. So I've got my fire lighting kit here, and on this I actually have a new addition, which is really, really cool. It's a Thornhill ultra heavy little leather pad. It's just going to be handy for getting all of my tinder started and prepared on in a nice dry place, and I can move it to the fire. So I'm going to take it off this carabiner that's hooked up to, along with my fat wood, because I'll probably use that today. I do have some birch bark in here as well in my tinder bag. So I've just prepared some tinder while Josh is busy just preparing all of the wood behind me, or in front of me rather, behind you. I've got some fat wood shavings, a bit of birch bark dust, and just some ribbons of birch bark, so when I get a flame I can get those going, and then get some of these smaller sticks of birch bark and birch twigs going. So we'll just see how we go. I'm probably gonna also, just as a little bit of help, get a tiny bit of jute twine in there, just a tiny little bit, just fray that apart and just rub it up into a little bundle, just to give another little aid, considering it is so damp out here. You see how fibrous this stuff is? It's perfect for fire lighting for that reason. So that's the beauty of the fat wood. Now it's just to hope that these birch twigs catch. Again, no, it's just very wet. So it's a very damp fire at the moment. You can see the flames flickering underneath. You can hear the birch twigs crackling. It's just trying to get the rest of that wood to go. But we are getting there. No, absolutely not. How else could we get fire? It's so nice to finally have a fire going. It took a little bit of blowing, but it went up well. It was just, everything's really damp, so that's why it's smoking so much. But that's again why we've put these on rocks. It might be a bit overkill with how damp it is, but there's a lot of tree roots around here. There has been other fires here that haven't used rocks as a bottom. We thought it's best to do so. Let's be nice and safe, leave no trace as well, and then yeah, keeps it off the ground, which you can see is helping that fire tremendously. So that rock will start to warm up, and then that will keep the heart of the fire nice and warm, which is essential again. So it's really nice, a big morale boost, and it means we can get some food on, because I'm pretty hungry actually. I've got some rat packs to be eating from for this trip, so I'll see what one I'm going to do for lunch, and I'll catch up with you then. We just went on a bit of a timber collection. We found a fallen oak, so we're going to go harvest that in a little bit. It's very dry on the inside despite being covered in moss. Finally the fire's starting to go quite well. It's been a little bit of a battle, but it's just getting them coals nice and hot. And yeah, the wind's started to pick up, which has helped. Nicely set up now. Josh has got his setup there. It's going nice, isn't it, boy?
Yeah.
Really nice.
Nice spot behind it.
Yeah, I've got my setup over there, a bit messy at the moment. But then, what a beautiful view is that. Gorgeous. So I've got the new Flextail little mini pump here. It's bright orange, it's really handy. I really love the other one, and this one's a little bit smaller and has a better battery, so you use that to inflate the mat. I've also got these really awesome Thornhill Ultra Heavy pouches in Realtree camo to go alongside my day fryers bags and just help me keep things nice and organised. So in there I've got things like my Yuko lantern, pump, a bivvy bag, stuff like that. I'm just going to put this inside the bivvy bag now, and then that's me all ready for later, and I'll just get my sleeping bag out a tiny bit later and open that up. So there's all my different bags that I've got, just my day fryers ones and my Thornhill Ultra Heavies. Very handy, just keep things nice and organised. So I've actually got my Gone Boy here, my Silky. It's a sawn off saw. I spoke about this with Tom on the Woadsman podcast, and there's been a number of people that I've seen online having this issue with the blade snapping. So I'm kind of at the moment researching to find the best solution, whether it's a different blade or just, I don't know, a different saw in all. But this is a great saw, and I'm going to use it to buck up a big branch that me and Josh pulled down. We managed to get some nice dry bits, at least dry in the middle, so we'll show you that. We'll drag it down to somewhere a bit less steep, and then we can saw it up and bring it back for the fire, and that will keep it going hopefully through some bigger periods of rain. So there's the big old branch. Doesn't look like much, but then you see Josh next to it. It's pretty damn massive. So we're going to scoot that down this hill all the way down there where it's a bit flatter, and then we can buck it up. You good, lad? Oh, slippy. We'll cut the whole top layer off. Look! Oh, with moss. With moss as well? It's a rock. I'll drag it from here, boy. Yeah? If I go snag. Thank you, sir. It's my fault. Well, it got me, guys. I went completely over there. The brambles are like tripwires. But nevertheless, we got the log down. So, time to saw it up. Yeah, lovely. Look at that. Good. Seasoned oak in the middle of that. Really nice. So we've got a good lump of timber here. Really nice seasoned oak. So we're going to put that on the fire, get that drying, and haul that back to camp now. Might not have looked like much, but there's our log supply for the fire. They're good and thick, good and dry in the middle, and we can get them on now just to keep this protected from the rain. So let's have a little look at what I've got to eat. Got a few bits. Got mainly ration packs for this week. So I've got steak and dumplings, tomato and pasta salad for lunch, pea and mint soup for lunch, beef burrito filling with rice, and I've got some wraps. Or I've got chickpea curry as well. I might actually go for the steak with vegetables and dumplings, just a British MRE. So before it gets dark, I actually noticed on this branch here, this oak branch that extends right above my tarp, it was a little bit windy, and that started to really move quite a lot, and I noticed there was a crack about halfway up it, just there. When that was moving, that was opening up, so I don't want to sleep under that, because if the weather comes in heavy,
that could be night Primal Nomad. So I'm going to move my tarp over next to Josh. There's a nice space, and his ridgeline actually goes all the way up there. So what I might do, considering it's so high, is plough point off of it, because if I went normally it'd be too wide. So if I do a plough point, that will fit in perfectly, and then we can utilise the fire together, and it just means that it's a bit safer than under that big branch that extends all the way out.
Quite big under here, nice and spacious, so definitely keep me good and dry. I'm going to pull the middle back out now, just to give myself a little bit more room under there. And yeah, really happy with it. Obviously being a 4x3, it's a bit of a different shape to a normal 3x3 plough point.
Josh and I also carried over this huge log here, big old bit of oak, quite heavy but good and dry on the inside. So we're going to saw that up, but first I'm just going to go fill up my billy can with some water from the little creek behind. Perfect. That's just water for my MRE to boil it in, so I'm not worried about it being too clean, although it is absolutely crystal clear. I'd be pretty happy drinking that, but I'd want to boil it first. I'm gonna put my water on to boil there. I'm not in a hurry, and that will be good for whenever I want to have my meal for later. I can just put my bag straight in and boil it up. Very good stuff. Me and Josh found some really nice dead standing dry birch, so I've cut some, put some under my tarp. My billy can is good and hot now. The water in it's definitely boiling, or very near to, so I'm going to put in my steak and dumplings. Get that inside, you can see all the steam rising off that. I'll get that nicely squeezed down to the bottom. And I'll put that lid back on. So the ration pack is completely heated through now. I'm pretty sure it's been boiling away for quite a while, and it is just lifting that lid all the time. So I'm going to open that and dig in a few minutes. It's definitely wet out there. Woo. I'm just going to dig into this quickly. Oh, that's good. It might not look like too much, guys, but that is an amazing meal. Very, very welcomed. So the fire's roaring away nicely now. The rain has come in really quite heavy, and it's about time for bed now. So that's me about done for tonight now, guys. I'm going to jump into the sleeping bag. I've just been putting everything away in their respective kind of dry bags and stuff. And yeah, I will catch up with you guys then. And hopefully it'll be a bit drier in the morning, but if not, it'll just be find some firewood and do the usual haul of try to get that thing going again, but hopefully it shouldn't go out. We've got some big logs of oak on there. A very good morning to you guys. It's a very wet one, so I'm just going to stay under this tarp for a little while. There's really nothing much I can do, so I apologise for that. But yeah, the fire's completely gone out. Looks like it's going to be a bit of work to get that going again, but I've got some birch logs that once it stops raining I can split up. I would do it here, but I'm a bit hesitant to do things around my tarp with a knife and around my air mat, so we'll just wait for it to pass over. If it does, then I'll see you then. Just going to prepare some of this birch for when the fires, or when the weather's stopped, so I can get the fire going a bit easier. It's a little bit damp on the ends, but it's dry on the inside. So it's good dry timber on the inside. I'll just split that again a few more times. I'm just using a root to baton on. So I'm just getting all that damp material off of these sticks. Just wanted to split these again into really thin little bits there. I'm just going to feather these down, so I've got some rudimentary feathers, or at least some good kindling to get the fire started when this rain stops, which I think it will fairly soon. I think it's meant to stop around midday again, but we'll see. We'll let God be the judge of that. So I'm going to give some of this a go for feather sticking. I think it's probably a little bit too punky. It's dry on the inside, but it's on that stage of becoming, you know, a little bit more rotten. It's not the freshest of timber, it's been stood there quite a while, so we'll see what we can get. But it might be a case of curls just onto the pad. Might not again be the prettiest, but it's got a really nice long thin stick off of it, and this birch is just on the edge of being good, so a lot of them are falling off. But as I started to get to the middle, you can see I've got some really nice curls going on. It's just the rest of the outside wasn't that good quality, but alas, this is going in the bag and it's going to be a valuable aid for fire lighting. So what I'm doing is just making little quills, little curls like that to drop onto here. And I'm ending up with some really nice thin birch twigs, so I'm going to shave that side down now and carry on doing the same. So I've got a nice thin birch stick here which can be used for kindling, and all of this to start the fire. I'm going to carry on doing that with all of this here. So given the mist in the background just over there, it's still drizzling a little bit, but the rain has mainly eased, which is nice. So I'm going to head out shortly and see what the fire situation is. Them logs are going to be drenched, that's for sure. So the old weather's cleared up now. I just made a little backrest out of my backpack. But I'm going to go for a little wander now. Get out, stretch the legs, get into my gear. Yeah, it's going to be nice just to get out and have a little wander. I did see a few bits of battle damage on the trees around here from other, in inverted commas, bushcrafters or probably wild campers. So I want to draw your attention to that, and yeah, it's not what to do when you're out here. There's a birch that's had a branch lopped off, and obviously the sap's rising at the moment, so it's just pouring out. And there's no need for it. Green wood like that is only good for carving, and you shouldn't be doing it at this time of year. These Stone Creek chaps are invaluable when you're out in a wet place like this. You can just unzip them. Get your boot on. So you can probably see that we've got some rocks on the edges of our tarps, and that is because the wind came up so much, whipping through that little valley into here. It was kind of ballooning our tarps, and it was swirling. At the end of the evening it was blowing back this way, so pushing the tarps back down, which is why I actually moved ends. But my tarp did rip up at one point, and my peg, I lost it, and it's all the way over here from there, and it was in that back corner, so it flew all the way up and landed over here. And little walk this morning I just found it, so I'll pick that up. And I think if you're ever using the DD ultralight or superlight, pegs are definitely not viable for soft ground conditions, so I've gone for big rocks and pegs, and also along the front of the plough point of pegged down stakes. As you can see, that toggle and hold this end in because it was that bad. But there's my sleeping setup, really comfy, and it's just an absolutely lovely morning here. The sun's trying to make an appearance, which is nice, quite welcome. Really marshy around this area, you can see, so it wouldn't be very good camping through there. But that's all down towards the Loch. You've got the river behind us, so I think we found the only real viable spot in this area. Absolutely stunning. If the weather wasn't coming in a little bit worse and this ground wasn't so wet, I'd probably carry on. I'm just tuft hopping at the moment, but I'm going to get back to camp and see if I can start a fire before any heavy rain comes in. Some nice shavings there. sun's come out now, which is amazing, and it's just beautiful up here. Now I can see all the views. Can't wait to get a little bit of lunch on. I'm going to boil some water and probably cook up some soup, or maybe some noodles actually. I think I'm fancying noodles, so I'll get some drinking water on the boil, probably only about 250-300 ml, and I can add my noodles in. So nice that the fire's going now. Managed to get some big logs on there, some of the half-charred ones from last night. They're starting to take, so should keep going now. It's just a case of keeping it fed. And talking about fed, like I said, I'm going to get some noodles on very shortly. Probably do some chicken noodles. Be quite nice, just a little filling thing to bridge the gap until late lunch or dinner. And yeah, looking forward to that. Just going to get some water boiling for some noodles. And I've got some really nice chicken noodles, chicken, onion and garlic, all sorts. That rock is really nice and hot, so it's going to keep them perfect temperature to stew away. Just gave these another blast over the fire. That's all clean now with the water from the little burn. Really handy little things, these Trangier handles. The fire's ripping. Josh has reorganised his tarp to be a kind of apex shelter, quite nice and low to the ground but open at the front. Really nice. It's kind of an inverse plough point. I've just got my sleeping bag all strung up now, drying out. Just giving a little air to it. It's all inside out because there's a lovely keen drying breeze coming through. Here you are guys, here's that damage that I was speaking about earlier to this birch tree. They've just put like an axe straight in multiple times into the bark and it's just been bleeding out of there. That's why it's all black. And if that doesn't say enough, there's like other ones here. This has been cut off like a few inches above where it should be. You should really be cutting following that kind of cambium scar line. Over here, it's done the exact same. Big gaping axe wounds in these birch trees. And then, if you have a look here, they've actually done this. That is fresh. Like, you know, probably done not too recently. For no idea. I have no idea why. It's green birch, unless they were like carving, and if they were carving they should know about the damage it's done to the woods. But if I bring it in, have a look at how much sap is just trickling out of there. You can see the insects are attracted to it as well. Yeah, there's just really no need for stuff like that, and they've just damaged everything. I mean, they've taken off branches everywhere. Here, just absolutely hacked. So my message to anyone watching this is, if you see anyone doing that, obviously pick them up. But if you're going out and doing that, just stop. If you've been doing it by accident and you've not realised what you've been doing, then you know things are forgivable, but you can't keep on doing stuff like that. And yeah, it's just atrocious to see trees getting damaged like that, and that is ultimately why we lose access to places as wild campers in the United Kingdom. That's why we have to come to places like Scotland to have the right to roam, and then you get people who do that kind of stuff, and that's why you get places like Loch putting a ban on wild camping, even though there is a right to roam in Scotland. So yeah, just let's make sure none of that happens. And in fact, while I'm here, there was a little bit even next to Josh's shelter, which was atrocious, and I'll just show you that. They've just obviously been harvesting birch bark, or I don't even know what they've been doing, just hacking. You can see all those guys, look at that, just a huge chunk missing out. They've been scraping down this old tree in multiple places, and yeah, just a shame, because it's such a beautiful place out here. So it is time for a tomato pasta salad, which I'm going to heat up in the water. Really become a fan of using these for trips like this. Very handy to just get a good tasty meal in you, nice and hot as well. And there's little to no mess, and they don't take up much space. And I'll be using these on my solo, the series trip, where I'll be coming back up here soon. Well, the water's definitely boiling, so I'd say that's good and hot in there. One of the most exciting parts of the day, lunch. I know I had the noodles, but that was really a breakfast for me. Tomato and basil pasta. I'm going to go wash my hands quickly with this soap by the stream. They're a bit dirty. This is a completely organic soap, by the way. Hence why I'm fine using it out here in the wilderness. So that's a nice soap that I got from Helicon Tex. Really, really good. Smells lovely, and it's got charcoal, aloe vera, all the good stuff in it. That water's lovely and warm. Put my razor in there. I've just got some shaving foam. Ooh, hot water. Good. So I'm all shaven now, guys. Just gonna go collect some firewood with Josh. It's absolutely hammering it down. Not too heavy at the moment, but it might get heavier, who knows. So yeah, I'll catch up with you then. Making a coffee, lad? Yeah, buddy.
Just started coming out.
Look at that timing. You like your coffee in the woods, don't you?
Yeah, it's best.
Nice.
In a mopper pot.
You do it proper traditionally.
Like a cowboy.
Yeah, it's got to be done. Scald your milk and everything.
Yeah, that's...
Nice. Enjoy.
Oh, no, sugar in it.
That's a proper cup of coffee in the woods, that.
That is. It's nothing it gets.
It's been so nice camping with Josh back here in the Galloway National Park. And what a week to do it. Very wet. It's been a really nice few days, hasn't it, Josh? It'll be a shame to be leaving, but nevertheless it's always nice to come and just enjoy these things. Like Josh always says, if it ain't raining, it ain't training. Probably going to catch up with you guys in a little while. Once I've collected some more wood, it'll probably be dark by then, but we'll have a nice bit of evening's antics together, cook up some good food, and yeah, it'll be really, really nice. I'll see you soon.
You can't be eating jerky. It's raining quite a lot now.
As you may or may not be able to see, guys, there is an absolute lake. Like, that is crystal clear water forming under my sleeping area. So I'm actually gonna pack everything away, move a few bits under Josh's tarp, and move my whole setup. Absolute pain in the backside, but the wind is kicking up an absolute ton. There's water coming in over at that back corner. I had shifted everything back a little bit where it's higher, but it just, you can see everything's just flooding at the moment. So let's go. So guys, you're in the new shelter now. It's a A-frame really low to the ground, good and long, and it's good and dry in here. So I'm just gonna get my next ration pack from the fire. I put it on. It's a beef burrito filling, so I'm just gonna put that in a wrap and have that. And then it's light out for me, guys, because this is just wet and I'm just going to be under here, so I'll see you when I'm munching. So I must apologise for the noise, it's hammering it down, but I've got a beef burrito with rice ration pack here. And I'm going to put some on these wraps. Sorry about the camera, it's very cramped under here. Smells so good. Even on a rainy day like this, that warms the soul. I'm going to leave you with that, guys. Good night, and I'll show you the shelter in the morning where I've had to move it to. A big thank you to Josh for helping me. Real star. Good night. Well, good morning, guys. Definitely a wet one last night. I think Josh had to move as well when the rain had stopped. I think puddles just started seeping under, because when I woke up I heard him shuffling around, asked if he was okay, but he'd already moved by that point, so I didn't get to give him a hand. But thankfully it wasn't hammering it down when he did that. But yeah, it was absolutely soaking. I mean, the whole area where our kind of campfire was is a big old lake, but you can't really tell when it's dry that things are going to do that, and at least we're apt enough to move our stuff. Nice under here. It's a little bit lower than I like it most of the time, but with bad weather it's kind of essential you do stuff like this. So we're going to pack up very shortly and then hit the road back. So I'll show you a little bit of camp, a little bit of me packing up. I haven't got much memory card space left, and yeah, it's been an amazing trip, and what a lovely morning to wake up to. don't know if you can see that, guys, but that is where I was camped. Josh is tucked up over there, giving himself a nice A-frame by the hill, away from the water. So, it's actually a lovely morning that we're about to leave on, but nevertheless, it's been a wonderful trip here in the Galloway National Park, and I do implore all of you guys to come out up to Scotland and exercise your right to roam. Just look after nature, look after the trees, don't put axe wounds in them like that, and make sure, if you are camping and it's a wet one, get yourself on a bit of a hill. An incline is your friend. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'm just gonna get my tarp down now, pack up everything, and I'll catch up with you then. Josh was set up on the hill there after the rains came in quite heavy. You can see where his sleeping pad was. He was protected by all this holly. He's currently just packing away all of his bits. It's been a good trip. Bit of a wet one, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's alright.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad.
We're used to it.
Once I'd moved it was fine as well.
I always loved Josh's pack. Really, really good. It's got his nice heavy duty dry bags in the pockets. And this is a real proper military one, so it's got very heavy duty webbing on it, and it's all modular for Josh's webbing kit, and it's yeah, it's going well.
It's a good piece of kit.
It is. Alright, we're gonna hike out. So we're all packed out, guys. Josh is just heading his way up the hill, but there's the flooded spot behind us. You can see just how much water's there, and to think I was camping over near that tree there. Bit mental, to be honest, but it's been a lovely, lovely time here in the Galloway. Just gonna hike this steep old hill back out, and yeah, we'll probably catch up with you at the truck. But thanks so much for watching, guys. I can't tell you how much fun it's been. It's been incredible to be with Josh, and yeah, great bit of comradeship there with the shelter moving. Everything's just gone really well despite the weather, and it's lovely to be back in Scotland. I'll be back here very, very soon for my Solo the Series trip, so definitely go check that out over on YouTube. I can't wait to see all of the other contestants. So again, like I said, until next time, guys, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Can't believe when I woke up you had to move your tarp as well.
I did. Had to move my everything.
Yeah.
My entire life, dry it all out.
After helping me as well, like, bless you.
It was like 3 o'clock in the morning as well.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it was just a lake when we woke up. But yeah, that's a tip for you guys when you're in Scotland. Pick a nice high spot and just enjoy yourself, hey boy.
Yeah, even if you have to move, just enjoy it.
That's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, stay safe. We'll see you soon.